Okay, I'm gonna do this for the second semi-finals between Resurgence and NyZ Zone. I'm not gonna do the finals. I don't think that game there's really much reviewing over there. IMP vs RSG get kind of outmatched, so I casted that already. So I'm not gonna do that a second time. This is a much more interesting series between Resurgence and NyZ Zone. I think NyZ Zone they made some mistakes, but they made quite a few major mistakes. But I think there's quite a few interesting talking points in terms of um, things to watch out for in the meta, small tactics that can be used to solve certain set pieces and what should be done in various scenarios. So once again, let's talk about Bampic. A Resurgence over here, what they've gone for is something that they're very comfortable with, but they've modified this a little bit. They're not playing a tank jungler, and they're going for this. It's still very engage heavy. They still want to group up about the same timings, still playing along the same ideas. Okay, this hit 15 minutes, group up with the Zyra Rakan, use the Rakan to initiate, then you have the Renekton Vladimir going in as well. So it's a very go into one round of spells and then come out. So RSG, they have variants of these kind of team comps, but what they have here is a very strong, very potent Elise Renekton combination. So most of the time when you see like competitive teams play, they go for the Elise if it's available, especially on blue side. Why Elise is so strong is that you grab Elise first, then maybe you take the Renekton over here, and then perhaps you ban out some of the tanks later on. And what's going to happen is that you have Elise Renekton, and you have a very strong kill lane at the top side of the map. So Zyra Rakan, they have a very strong all-in potential, but in general, this allows you to say that okay, Zyra Rakan, you just play sustain lane, you have to trap the all-in to keep your opponents honest, and then you play Elise Renekton, you have Elise cap the top side of the map. What they will do is they'll do Elise, they start Raptor's raid, and then this will be leashed by the Zyra Rakan as well, so they give the Elise a super leash, and then there'll be a top lane as early as I think 245, 250, they kill the top laner once, opponent top laner TP's back, they do the opponent's crocs, and then they kill the opponent the second time. So possible responses to this. Let's take a look at this. I think both sides of this was played. With NyZ playing it on blue side as well, second game as well. Okay, so in terms of tools and what NyZ wants to use to deal with RSG. So this is how they're gonna attack them. So 15 to 25 minutes. This is where they're very strong. What NyZ wants to do is 0 to 15 minutes. They want to be strong as well. And what they're gonna play is Caitlyn Lulu, which is an effective bully lane against the Zyra Khan over here. I would have preferred Braum in this case because it's just easier to play, but I think Lulu gives them more of an attack window against the Zyra Khan. And this really depends on how confident the support player is in playing this kind of matchup. Braum makes the thing very simple and very easy to play. It gives you a much stronger mid-game phase, but if you go Caitlyn Lulu, it allows you to take leads in this kind of setup. Then they go for the Gragas, that gives them a pretty strong disengage against what they have over there. So it's a very good defensive setup to protect the Caitlyn in this kind of scenario. Kind of scales evenly with the Zyra, slightly favored in Caitlyn's favor. But with the rest of the team comp coming in, they have the Syndra. The team fighting presence post 25 minutes would definitely be in NyZ's favor. But 15 to 25, this is where this team composition is very strong. And one of the questions a lot of people are asking is, why Poppy? So what happened over here is that they lost pick the Poppy in this case, which is something that is not really at the forefront of the meta, but we do see it quite a fair bit in like LPL. I think like some teams in LMS play it as well. Hasn't really been picked up in LCK as a top laner, but it's a very effective solution to Renekton Elise. Some people, they feel confident enough to play Maokai, but the simplest champion to play into Renekton Elise is actually Poppy, because it negates a lot of the pressure. Like Poppy and Rumble, both their ultimates can clear the wave, but Rumble instantly dies to this. So if you go for Poppy, same thing. You can set top lane. 1v2, you're not afraid of Elise Renekton, you've got this very strong setup, but you can kind of like, okay, I'm going to ignore all of that. Let me reduce the volume a little bit. I'm going to ignore all of that. Poppy can 1v2 them. He's going to fall a little bit behind the CS, but it doesn't matter. He's up against Renekton. Hit the mid game, hit the late game, he will do more than the Renekton in general. So that is what NyZ wants to do. Just protect the lead in the bottom lane, and then hit the mid game stage, stifle the opponent's aggression, hit the 3 items killing points, and then the team composition will take over the game naturally. Renekton can go for a split push kind of build over here, so RSG they can go for 1-3-1, but then that means they have got very little answers to the Caitlyn siege at this point of time with their team comp. So if the Renekton does go below the Rune King, then he's got very weak team fighting phase, and then Resurgence, they dilute their win conditions too much, and they overcommit to this split push that isn't necessarily the most effective as well. Because come a point, it's not like super fat, the Syndra will also be able to hold him in the lane. Or in fact, the Poppy will just be able to hold him in the lane. Even if it goes below the Rune King, he does get the push in, but he can't really down the darts against Poppy up to a certain point. Okay, let's talk about jungle party. So this is something that you have to take note of. So what you want to do as Gragas in this case, if you're up against Renekton Elise and you want to give your top laner bonus insurance, you want to do 2 camps, hit the top side of the map, drop a ward in the tribush, do the Crocs, recall. So you do a half side clear, so you have some cover for a top lane. And what happens in this kind of scenario is that if the Elise pop stop, then she goes stop, you get the cover for him, so there's a chance to outplay the flash. And then Elise has to go all the way back to do her camps before she goes back top lane again. So she can't do the very effective clear this, go top lane, gank top lane, do Crocs, and then gank top lane again. Because you have to get the Crocs at this point in time. I think modified the plan a little bit because of what they saw on the map and stuff. And I think the resurgence as well, they didn't really drill down very well. Like you do the super leash, you do Raptors Raid Blue, and then you go top lane straight. That's the very effective way to do it. And at this point in time, you're already at the top lane ready to gank. So I think that loses him like 5-6 seconds on the speed of the gank. Because it's very important to get the Elise in the top side of the map before the opponent top laner gets level 3. So the seconds do count in this scenario. He's going to go for the full clear and then he's going for much more counter jungle party. Counter jungle oriented party. So he's just going to get gank top, then he's going to return back bottom lane. So even then, you gank once, you blow one summon spell. If you do it correctly, you gank once, you blow one summon spell, you gank the second time, you blow the teleport, and then after there's no real follow up after that. So this loses a lot of effectiveness with this kind of partying. Like the reason why the Elise Renekton is so important, you about do Raptors, Raid Blue, gank top, first summon the spell. If you do it against something that's weaker, you get the kill already. Yeah, actually, that does a DC over here. No, it wasn't this one. I remember one part of big DC, then Raven in general got killed to him. So I was saying Elise parting, Raptors, Raid Blue, go top, gank once. Then after that, if you get a kill, he TP's back in, you blow one summon spell either way. You do the Crocs, you come back. Then that's the second kill, or the second summon spell. And then you go back, you do this camp, and then you go to top lane the third time. So Poppy in this case, firstly, if she has summoned a spell, she won't die. Secondly, with this kind of parting, it stops the triple gank top. Because the triple gank top is where the potency lies. You go in there, you kill him once, you blow the TP. In fact, you don't want a situation where you are forced to TP to pick up a huge issue from the dart, and then you get dived anyway. That's supposed to be the correct setup. Like the Renekton has to drill this in as well. How to coordinate the wave together with Elise, so he's able to control the wave, send the big wave in, and then Elise will stop and then dives the opponent. I think like KT did that a few times. It's a very common setup to see Elise Renekton just go stop, camps out the opponent, and you have to be well drilled to have an answer for that. That's one thing the Resurgence really would want to do. Like NyZ did it in the second game, but it was a very messy one. Like they didn't know how to do the leash, it wasn't well drilled. The Elise didn't know how to make the return gang or adapt when she saw Rek'Sai at the crab over there. Okay, we talk about Resurgence's answer to Elise Renekton in the second game when I get to it. So the textile of the lanes. Oh, okay, he dies over here. Lulu Caitlyn against Zara Khan, they need crab vision at about 3:30. So that's the Elise gang timing. Usually she passed downwards, but then they knew that she passed outwards. So that means it's going to be another minute. So 4 minutes 30 before Elise goes back to bottom again. And this point of time, they have the wards in place already to say, okay, if Elise comes, she comes to the river, we can back off, and they can very comfortably just keep pressuring down the melee support as well as Sierra. And they're getting pretty good damage on the tower. It's about half health right now. So I don't like the fact that is going here to ward. So he shouldn't be doing anything, nothing at all at the top side of the map. What he and Orbing wants to do, right? So they have great wards right now. Is at the moment he clears the top side of the map, immediately hit down to the bottom side of the map. Priority, secure river vision, because you want river vision for Syndra, and then Syndra can stand here, can stand at the right side of the river, push out the wave. Anything happens, it's there on the right side to back him up. The Elise can only come from two possible directions now. It's either he comes over from the Raptors over here for a sneaky gank, in which if they can get some advanced vision over here, just throw the yellow ward, yellow trinket over the wall here. The Syndra will only be ganked from the left side, and the Elise comes from the left side. The The Vladimir doesn't really have so well CC blocking down. No flash on the Elise. The Syndra is completely 100% safe. And when Syndra doesn't feel Q pressure from assassins like Echo, Zed, and Vladimir, what happens is that the Syndra is always going to shove them in, and will always have priority in the jungle in this case, on the bottom side of the map, because that's where they have the control. The Syndra will always rotate down to the bottom side faster. So, Raid Wards, they place it. Where's Yuno's Raid Ward? They had Raid Wards in the inventory just now, right? Where did Yuno place this one? Or was that only Orbit with a Raid Ward? Oh, okay. I don't like this ward. You just want it to be in the river. You want it to be in the brush over here. Because once you have this river Raid Ward and this brush Raid Ward, this one over here, you can just clear it very easily by hitting the scrying orb. And in general, if you have this kind of split map scenario, Elise doesn't want to be here throwing down wards. Elise doesn't want to be here throwing down wards. And actually, there's a small little dot over here that they can put a ward as well. But what happens is it doesn't see the far end of the wall over here. So the important thing is you have to make sure that your river brush over here is not warded, and that the pixel brush is not warded as well. Because the moment you have Raid Wards in these two places, Syndra, first things first, you have the bot side control. She gets push priority. In this case, what Yuno should have done is actually gone over and put pressure on this Raptors over here. Bot lane is pushing, mid lane is pushing. Go over to the Raptors. Anything happens, your side will rotate to the fight faster, and you guys have an advantage in this case. So this Raptors actually belongs to Yuno. He went around to his own camps first. I mean, he might be scared because he's playing the Gragas against the Elise, but he has to recognize that this is a Syndra in the mid lane, and he has the control set up over here. So, small changes. This ward, don't place it. Secondly, Raid Wards, put it over here, put it over here. The moment Syndra disappears into fog, Elise has to get the hell out of there. Or Vladimir has to give up creeps and then come over. And then, just by disappearing the fog, you're getting a lead in the mid game. You're getting a lead in the mid lane just by disappearing the fog. So that is why this vision setup, Raid Ward in this bush, Raid Ward in this bush is very important. Then if the Vladimir rotates top and the 3-man top, is it okay for Rex? At this point of time, he has the ultimate. What the correct setup is, you see people coming top, you use the ultimate. If they are in, you can't really get the ultimate to any of these three people because they will have like flashes up and they'll dodge it out. So you just out the wave and then you delay their tempo and you back off. Even if they kill you, they get 300 gold, but they can't take the turret because you've altered the wave already. And what will happen is that Syndra will get damage mid, and bot lane will have to give up the turret. Because if they stay around, they know that Gragas will be able to dive in 3v2, and they aren't in a very good situation to begin with. Okay, this is where the DC happened in the lane. So this is going to pause for a little bit. So this is early game setups. It's very important to know what your early game setups are, how you want to be placing your wards from the first base. And then this, okay, that could have been played a little bit better by Orbing. So he actually DC'd at this point in time after a flash. Like, what he should have done. Oh, you don't show top. You don't show top. I see. Okay, because if Yuno doesn't show top, what happens is that if he flashes to the right side over here, he's flashing into fog over there. And then at this point of time, Eternal as well as Raven, they've got no chance to follow up onto him. So that's the pause part. You see the casters. Let's skip forward into the game. So this is where the bot lane turret does fall. Cannon wave at 9, cannon wave at 10:30. That's where the Caitlyn really does get a lot of ability to hit down on this turret. Okay, let's scroll it back a little bit. Let's see how they could have gotten this turret any earlier. Okay, that's where the pause happened, right? Then you know what's going to top. Like, the Gragas should never ever go top lane. Just don't ever show your face at top lane itself. The Poppy is going to be there to Renekton. Just let him suffer under the turret because that's what you pick the Poppy for. He can't survive in that scenario, and how much CS he picks up depends on how good the player is at judging the scenario and how good the opponent is at pressuring him to drop CS in those cases. Then it's the opposite side thing on the Lulu Caitlyn lane. He's going to be pulling out the bottom side of the map. So this is going to be a race situation, but you've got two range champions sitting at the turret on the bottom side of the map, and it's a melee champion on the top side of the map. So Resurgence would like, okay, we have pressure to do something on the top side of the map. It's Elise Renekton, but the Poppy negates a lot of the pressure in this case. So they really need to do the super clear, gang once, gang twice, gang 3 times, and then maybe they can finally get a kill on the Poppy. But then if the Elise does that, she will fall behind the Gragas. Because there's only 1 kill. Usually, when you do that against like a Gnar, against a Rumble, you actually get 3 kills. You visit once, you get 1 kill, you get 1 summon spell. That's the teleport. You visit the second time, you blow the flash. Then you visit the third time, then they just die. They just roll over and die. Okay, so NyZ, they take the first start. At this point of time, they're in a pretty good position. First 15 minutes, abuse the leads, and they're winning this race over here. And this is what Resurgence is pretty good at doing. They know that, okay, we drop the bottom side of the map. What you do is that, what they did in their series against TLJ was that they actually preemptively lane swap. So that wasn't very present over here. So this is what I was talking about. You don't want to out your opponents. In fact, I think he could have just outed the Renekton over there, and then he would have been fine. Like, just out in the direction of the creep wave, get rid of the minions, and then suddenly they can't really get this very well coordinated dive onto you. So just charge it up, clear the minions, and this is very bad from Charles. This is very bad from Kra. Okay, let's talk about Poppy and how to manage this again. So they win the race. They have a very large tempo lead at this point of time, and then they know that Elise is in the bottom side of the map, so Elise must be top. Or in fact, that's just how this game is supposed to be. Elise is supposed to be permanently on top. So Brack sees this, charges up the ultimate, shoots it here, just shoots it here, this direction. He has revive, he buys the tempo, and then that's fine. He walks off to the right. Like, he shoots it like in the middle, misses everybody. I think he's trying to go for Elise or something. Like, you shoot in the direction of the Renekton, you get rid of the wave, and then this buys all this time, an additional like 30 seconds for Charles as well as Caitlyn and everybody to reach here instead. Okay, AD carry and support in this kind of scenario are swapping to the top side of the map, and in general, this is very dangerous. Like, this is something that, as a jungler, he went over to hand over the blue buff, right? So, if you do the bot lane, you do the dragon, it is very, very important that the jungler recalls together the AD carry and support, so that now all 3 of them are walking towards the top lane at the same time. And if anything happens, they reach at the same time, and they are able to contest the jungle over here. But sometimes, especially these kind of timings, okay, blue buff is available, or if you're on the blue side of the map, red buff is available, and you really want to pick up that extra camp. So what bot lane should do in this kind of situation is not go to the other side lane first. They rotate to the mid lane first, push out the mid lane, force your opponents to not be able to set a proper wave at the top side of the map. In fact, pressure them to rotate down to the mid lane, and then you slowly push out the lane, force them to collect the wave over here. You rotate back, you clear a vision in your own jungle first, and then you go to the top lane. Because that will buy your jungler enough time to finish the camp, hand over the blue buff, and you are giving the Syndra protection in this case, and the Syndra gives your AD carry and support protection in getting the vision over here as well. Because you're able to set the push priority in that manner. So these are the lane swap drills that teams really need to learn. Emperor made this mistake when they swapped to the top side of the map. NyZ, same thing, not well drilled in this kind of thing, so they're going to get punished as well. Same thing, scrims, amateur teams, they need to have much clearer scrim objectives and identify that, okay, these are things that they really need to work on if they want to play these kind of compositions. Because I remember in the series against BNL as well, same mistake. They got bot lane, they got dragon, they swapped top, and then they got capped at top lane because they didn't do this vision drill properly. They didn't take control of the other side of the split map properly. They have all this control bottom lane and they want to go top. But then there's nothing. But then there's no control for them in the top side of the map, and they're walking into an area that Elise has control. So now RSG, they take back the turret, they get a whole bunch of kills for their troubles. And what looked like initially, okay, they're struggling, they're falling behind. All the tempos reset, and the only thing that NyZ has going for them now is the dragon. And now they want to reset up on the same thing. Okay, same thing. Didn't clear our vision over here. They didn't clear our vision, and they're taking this fight against their opponents. So it goes back to this very poor vision drill when they swap the top side of the map that results in all of this happening. But this is not the strong point for RSG just yet. This is not the strong point for RSG just yet. Actually, let me think about it. Renekton doesn't have the black people just yet. Which is decent for them. It's okay for them to fight this power farm. Okay, let's rewind it and see what happens. Let's break down this team fight. Renekton comes in with the TP. He's trying to read the pressure. He knows he has a push priority in the Poppy, but the Poppy will just clear out the back one and TP over. So it'll be a slightly late TP, and by the time Renekton reaches, a pretty good ulti from Yuno. No, Vlad died. Vlad got selected for Sunyo. Hmm. I think resurgence in this match. That call, it's like a 50-50 call. I think it's very hard to make the decision. You think about it, like we need to do something to stifle the aggression coming from NyZ. Renekton is level 10, the Vlad is level 10. If we don't go now, the wall's gonna aspire, then that's a very good TP ward that goes missing for us. Or should they continue to let the Zyra Khan just stall up the top side of the map and then try to get the Renekton further ahead of the Poppy? Like going for the fight is still okay, I guess. They like just drop kills, they didn't drop objectives from that. Oh, because they got the Rift Herald earlier from the blunder from NyZ. I think it's okay. It's okay to make the call because you one is find a way to start grouping the Rift Heralds down. It's very low risk, but if you do win the fight, it's rather high reward. It's just that the fight is not a very good fight to take. Why is the fight not good to take? Because you're going to a Lulu Caitlyn Gragas, and it's a very not very well coordinated. Okay, so how these fights are going to be, right? Is that Resurgence wants to go in, they hit one round abilities, and then they back off. And NyZ, what they want to do is that they want to soak up the initial burst of damage, and then whoever drops, and then after that, keep whoever is around and pick them off. So this is exactly what happens in this fight. So they go in there, they blow summer spells, they don't kill anybody, and then NyZ identify, okay, this is where they want to fight. Flash forward, slow them down, stop them from backing away, kill somebody. Kill 1, kill 2. And that's how the idea of how NyZ wants to play these count team fights against RSG. Let them engage first, peel back, then counter engage when they're backing away. They have a lot of tools to do it as well. With the Gragas, with the Syndra, with the Lulu, with the Poppy. I mean, if RSG wants to win this fight, Ares needs some really good 6 setups with the Rakan, and they need to catch the Lulu out of position, which is what happens later on. The Lulu's position in this game is very, very questionable. Like, if you look at this team fight, this is where RSG is like super strong. And they lost a team fight during this fight. You watch this team fight, it's like, okay, I think NyZ has got this. They understand the team fighting. And then we'll take a look at what goes wrong later on. What they want to do, right, is they have the Lemire split push 1-3-1. But at this point of time, they don't really have an answer to the Lulu, Caitlyn, and the side lanes as well. Like, you look at NyZ's stand locations, like, okay, who can give the side lanes? And in general, you want the Renekton to be leading the lane. You can't really do that against the Poppy. Okay, how did this happen? Is this jungler inting? Okay, same thing as always. Caitlyn Lulu top side of the map, split map with your opponent. Don't go to the bottom side of the map. Race your opponents. They want to go dive the Poppy, they want to play the bottom side of the map. Don't defend the side of the jungle. Now Brax doesn't have ulti. You went in there and you died. You're giving over free gold to your opponents. This is a mistake from you. He just wants to spend all his time here, and making Ciela and Ares wish they were playing a different game. Just kidding, Lulu. They did a very good job in the lane phase and winning out that lane. Well, actually, I think they got a kill over here. I mean, this is things I don't like to see. Is where a team does what they're not supposed to be doing and they get rewarded for it anyway. Yeah, I think this is where NyZ starts to become very lost on the map. Okay, so let's break things down very slowly. So first things first, what should have happened over here is Caitlyn Lulu on the top side of the map, Gragas puts his focus on top side of the map, and then the race. So if you're gonna commit 3 people to this Renekton over here, we've got 3. Syndra in the mid lane, she's gonna push this out. Same thing, she's got all this vision over here, so that she has a rotation priority to the top lane. That goes bot, Elise goes bot, they take the blue buff. While they take the blue buff, that's wasting them about half a wave or 15 seconds of time. Top lane drops. And they're already halfway over here. They start to think about the dive onto the Poppy. Poppy outs the wave, buys them another 30 seconds of time. So there's a 45-second tempo lead for NyZ in this kind of scenario. Let's roll it back, roll it all the way back. From when they start hitting the turret, and that's not even accounting for. Like, they haven't even hit the turret at this point of time. So I think they have a good minute lead of tempo over here. If the Syndra, okay, this is part of the 15 seconds. In this 15 seconds, then because it's Caitlyn Lulu hitting the turret, so I guess that's another like maybe 10 seconds, 25 seconds of lead. Poppy outs the wave. Another 30 seconds. That's 1 minute of lead. I'm just going to round it up. 1 minute of lead for the NyZ team over here. Now they have the rotation priority to top side of the map. Syndra's mid, the Gragas is over here. He's not farming anything. He just needs to watch them hit these kind of things. He wouldn't have died. 300 gold less over to RSG. Yes, they do drop the blue buff. That's 100 gold and blue buff over to who? To Vladimir. It's not an Endivia. It's not a Oriana. You're giving a blue buff to Vladimir in this case. Blue buff is important for Syndra to secure, but the blue buff that Syndra secures in this situation is this blue buff on the top side of the map. This blue buff on the bottom side of the map is your weak side of the map. You forfeited control of that one. Like going up there is just being very disrespectful of your opponent. Then imagine in this case, okay, they make this play. Eventually they kill the Poppy. Wait, let's do the math for this properly, okay? Okay, this tempo lead over here. Then the Elise, even if she does want to recall, what happens is the Elise is defending against Gragas, Syndra, and Caitlyn Lulu. So Elise in this case will not go to the top side of the map and she will commit bottom side of the map. If Elise goes top side of the map, then RSG doesn't want to win the game anymore. Because at that point of time, they fall further behind in tempo and the Elise doesn't do anything. I mean, they can try and make an outplay, but it's a very low EV outplay on the top side of the map. But because everyone's on the bottom side of the map, where they're supposed to be strong, they don't get anything. Imagine if Syndra was over here instead. Poppy dies, maybe, I don't know, Xayah dies or something. You drop bot lane, tier 1, but they drop top lane, tier 2. And what happens is that this side of the map now is completely under your control. Baron's going to be spawning soon. And you're going to be able to protect all this vision over here. And then RSG suddenly, they can't even like get proper vision on top of, okay, can we do Dragon right now? Because they have to worry about high ground. Vladimir's bottom side. Elise or whoever is bottom side. And then they just are in this situation where NyZ is just moving around the map so quickly. They're just attacking the map so quickly. But Yuno's jungling. First problem, Yuno's jungling. Second thing is why don't defend the Poppy. The Poppy's job is to die. Is to die as slowly as possible. He's 50 CS down, and that's just the way it is. Because he's 50 CS down, what you need to make sure is that the Caitlyn is 50, 60, 70 CS up on your opponent over here. And at this point of time, what researchers needs to realize is that they need to swap things out. This needs to go about the Rune King Renekton. And then they need to play the split push and let the Renekton try to take over the game somehow. And then eventually what's going to happen is that they just have so much push priority in the mid and top side of the map. Syndra rotates bottom side and then helps the Poppy kill the Renekton. So that's how NyZ closes out this game by doing it properly. Like, reasons why these things are messy is, I'm always very critical of junglers because I feel that in general, the level of jungling play in Singapore is not very high. A lot of these mistakes are covered SBR versus IMP. That was Ice Destiny being a huge culprit. This game, it didn't look like it at first, but these small decisions, like like showing top lane when he shouldn't be showing top lane, it results in Orbic not having good options to flash out of certain scenarios. Oh, sure. I'm not sure if he needed to flash over there. Then things like defending the weak lane. You don't want to defend the weak lane. The Poppy's job in this game is to survive as long as she can. Focus the top side of the map. Now it's the question of how does NyZ set up a team fight. So at this point of time, it's not like NyZ lost the game. It's just that they didn't do the things that would have won them the game. And then on RSG side as well, they're not doing the things that would win them the game as well. Like the Rune King Renekton. That is how they want to win the game. But I think that's the best choice in how to win the game. Like considering the mistakes that NyZ has made so far. But I think what they practice is the team fighting. So they're going to go with the team fighting. It's not the best option, but it's still an okay option. Like, okay as in it's not that it's bad or whatsoever, it's not the most optimal, but it's still something that if you do this and you execute this way, you still can win the game. It gives you a way to win the game. So going for the team fighting style, Tiamat, then probably the Stone Plate later on for the Renekton. That works as well. Okay, let's skip forward a little bit. Pause. What the? Okay, team fight is breaking out. So let's talk about this team fight. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the thing. Then I'm gonna pause it. Okay, so NyZ, they see this situation over here. How should they be taking this? Why do they want to take the team fight over here? This is still where Resurgence is very strong. And in this case, what happens is that if you go forward, suddenly you don't have the spells. You want to engage on people. You don't have the spells to punish RSG for going in, bursting somebody down, and then backing off. I remember that they lost this fight actually. I don't remember. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. Flash E. Doesn't get anybody. Uses the Cascade. So that's the big disengage spells. There's going to be protecting Cap and Craft. That's one down already. Syndra push. Second one down as well. Damage done? 0. Of damage is about 60%. Damage done? 0. In all of that, what is NyZ doing? They're walking into all of this damage over time from Resurgence. They're using all the spells, and now there's no Syndra push. So there's no Syndra ultimate, which was what dealt the majority of damage on the Vladimir, and there's no explosive cast. There's no flash on the Gragas as well. So there's only one thing they can do. They blow the Poppy TP. In fact, right now, Revive can actually just say, Revive can see this engagement and say that, okay, you know what, let the Poppy TP, I don't care about this fight. They fucked up. He can just continue to push this lane and punish the Poppy. Go down there, push it all the way in, and then make the Poppy feel really silly for TPing. I mean, but that's very, very greedy. I think like maybe if you revive, you just want to play it safe. So everything is down now. Everything is down for NyZ now. They've got no disengage spells. What happens? They lose the fight. And then this is where, okay, RSG, they throw everything, right? Caitlyn Syndra is still alive. If they still have some of these spells, what can they do? Punish them. You kill one, we're gonna turn around and kill two. Like we saw in the team fight in the mid lane earlier. But why can't NyZ do that? Because explosive cast down, flash down, E flash down. Syndra push, Syndra ultimate was down as well. So NyZ, they don't understand how they're supposed to be team fighting in this kind of scenarios. They don't understand what the opponent's team comp is doing and how they're supposed to be team fighting. In this case, they have the poke advantage. They have the Syndra. Not the longest of range in this case, but they have the Caitlyn, which is always going to be down there, giving them the push priority in the mid lane. If they want to force something, make sure that the Vlad's still pushing in the side lanes. Then that's where they say, okay, now we're going with the Gragas to engage with the opponents. And that's why Gragas is so strong. Then he goes in for E-Flash on somebody. But then even that, the Resurgence team comp is not very good for the Gragas to engage on. Like, you just pick the Gragas here simply to disengage. Or simply, like, after they use their stuff, then you go in there a second time. And it's the threat of the explosive cast. That's what you really pick this Gragas for. It's not about hitting, it's the threat of it. That will make your opponents very scared. So that's where NyZ plays that teamfight round. If they keep playing teamfights like they did in the previous one, they'll continue to win these fights. But if they get too antsy, they get too anxious, and they want to engage their opponents, instead of letting the Caitlyn do Caitlyn things, letting the Syndra do Syndra things, and hitting the massive 3-item scaling point, then you end up in this very awkward situation. Like, if the Renekton went with the Rune King, I can understand why they might be making these cow calls, because Renekton's like, yeah, I'm really suffering over here, the Renekton's really punishing me very hard, and let's try to make something happen. And even then, that's not how they want to do it. They want to use that push priority, push into lanes, get some T-bots, some sticky wards in the roof there or something, rotate over to the Baron pit, get the popular TP, and then they have a big team fight over there. Not randomly in the mid lane and, oh, okay, let's try to go for a flash engage. Okay, let's just skip to the next team fight. Like, this game is just a clinic in how to team fight. Team fighting 101. Gets the push down, gets the poke. So this is why NyZ wants to just slowly push them down, slowly poke. So same thing, okay? Poke them down. Watch this position, watch what Gragas is doing, okay? Riven comes in here. Doesn't need to E forward. Doesn't need to E forward. They have peeled off the Baron. Already. Like, he wants to save his E in case they want to say, okay, let's turn the Baron or whatsoever. He can E to the pit, do something. Like, what's the plan here? He wants to E and then R the Vlad into his own team. I don't think that's a very smart plan. If they can, I actually think that maybe that's okay if that's an option. E R the Vlad into his own team, but that's just very hard to pull out. Like, they've got so many things over here, so much disruption. Kra, what's positioning supposed to be? Standing over here as well. What Gragas wants to be is standing in this bush over here, popping the Mars 3 icon. Orbit Cap pokes them down, chases them away from the pit, rotates back mid, pushes out the minion wave, rotates back to the Baron pit while they pick up the minion wave over there, clears the top lane wave, gets vision on the Baron, repeats this, pushes in the mid lane wave, gets a second layer of vision on the Baron pit, and then rotates over to the Baron, and then now they have the traps in place. They have the trap card already. Anything happens, they move over here, and then they start baiting RSG into these kind of team fights. Where now RSG is the one who has to try to make the flanks and try to find a way to outplay what they have over here. Okay, but let's talk about the team fight over here. Let's say, okay, we really need to take this team fight. Charles is positioning, standing slightly further back a bit, so that his job in this case, okay, Poppy's job, stand over here on the W, don't let the Renekton come in. So you can't stop the Rakan coming in. That's going to be the big combo. Poppy's job, stop the Renekton from coming in, Make sure that you don't get this super wombo combo off. Run disruption, stand here on the W. Lulu's job. This is why I say Lulu is very important to be standing over here. Standing here and then later standing here. Rakan comes in, you have the W. Vlad comes in, polymorph him. Polymorph the Vlad. What happens? He gets chunked up, instantly deleted. No, he doesn't get instantly deleted, but dies eventually. He doesn't even get the polymorph. He does eventually get the polymorph off, but it is after Vladimir has dropped everything. Oh, he doesn't even get the polymorph off. What did he use Whimsy on? Did he Whimsy somebody? He didn't even use W. Oh, he used it himself. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, so we bring this back down to the basics to figure out how, if you find yourself in NyZ's position playing against these kind of team comps, how do you decide how you're in a team fight? So easiest thing you want to do, poke them out, poke them away from the Baron pit, stop them from doing the Baron. So first things first, don't E forward. Never E forward as the Gragas in this case. All you want to do is just stand here, defend them. Second thing, you have to know your responsibilities. Poppy, what is your job? Stop the Renekton. Lulu's, what is your job? Stop the Vladimir. And protect your backline. Protect your backline, and then if they do commit to these kind of things, you negate the initial burst of damage, and then what happens? These two people suddenly have free reign, and they're overextended. They're overextended into this position. Brax hammer something into the wall, or out the way the backline. You know, out the people who are disengaging back into your own team, and then they will clean up. So first problem number one, you know ease forward. Okay, I think, actually come to think of it, that's not like the most major problem. The most major problem is cross positioning over here. Second major problem is that these two people don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Like first thing Brax wants to do is not on this ultimate. It's not charge this ultimate. Turn on his W. Turn on the state fast presence to stop these people from coming in. And same thing as well, like Syndra used to push up here, you want to E for at least make sure that your Syndra has the E push to stop this from happening. Okay, they just all get charged. Oh, he doesn't even land a quick killing on them. Okay, I thought Ares like landed a very sick out, Rakan out over here. How was the explosive fast use? Ah. Does he have another chance to use it later on? Like, you want to coordinate this very clearly. He doesn't even knock Raven out of the fight. Like, if he wants to use the explosive cast, what NyZ needs to do is, like, the moment the Rakan goes in, they just want to, okay, Rakan, use the out, split the opponents up, stop the full up from coming in. So the out was not well placed from Yuno as well. Yeah, I think they drop Baron here, then the game's over. So let's kind of recap. Let's kind of recap. Okay, so things that NyZ can should improve on in this game. I think RSG in the broad strokes of this game did the right things in general. The fight in the mid lane, you want to test it, you want to try that, you have to Rift Herald, gamble, go for it. If you punish well, your opponents mess up the team fight, you get away with it. If you don't, your opponent gets a few kills, and you drop the mid lane turret. I don't think that's a very big issue. So the places where I think Resurgence is like gambling and they lost. They should be taking those gambles. How the team fights turn out is a different story. Like small like little micro things. Not really gonna go through it very in detail for Resurgence. I think more or less they have the general concept of the team fighting down. But NyZ on the other hand, they play the first team fight correctly, and then after that you see Juno going in, them throwing out the spells, and these kind of things around the Baron pit. So NyZ first thing is swap top lane. They need to know the top lane drill. Second thing, always play to the strong side of the map. Identify that where your strong side of the map is, and also how to set up the raid wards upon you to get the rotation priority into those areas. Just simply by disappearing to fog, it actually makes your opponents drop CS, makes them panic, makes them feel just very unsafe in general. When you have a pushing mid and a winning bot. And team fighting. Know exactly what everybody's responsibility in the team fight is supposed to be, how the team fight is going to pan out, and spend time discussing this. So that's game number 1 for NyZ versus RSG. I actually think that this game is not like super high level, but it resembles a competitive game, which is something I wouldn't mind casting. I wouldn't mind saying that, yeah, this is the scene in Singapore. It's rough around the edges, but the ideas are there. There's a coherence to the way people are doing things. Lacking discipline, but you can't blame them because they're amateur teams. It's not the kind of shit show that Sovereign put on against Impunity. It's disgraceful. Okay. So this is something that we're going to be seeing from Resurgence, I think. I'm not sure because they changed the roster for GPL, but if they remember the same roster, this is probably going to be the core of the team composition. Rek'Sai, Galio, Jarvan, they did it against IMP as well. There's a one more combo on their side, and NyZ says that, okay, same thing, you play to team comp, you try to solve your team composition. What I didn't like about NyZ's team comp was that they went for the Elise here. Like, I honestly feel Elise Renekton is super strong. You drill it down, you get it correct, and you just destroy people. It's a free win. It's a free win combination. Elise Renekton. You go up, you pick it up against something like Gnar or Camille or Jace or anything that's not Poppy, Shen, or anything that's not Poppy, Shen. You just kill them. I think Maokai can survive as well, but that one's a little bit more iffy. Elise Renekton just go stop, you kill them once, kill them twice, kill them the third time, then the game's over. If you just keep sticking to the Renekton lane. But over here, they have the Elise Renekton setup. I remember from this game, my thoughts on it was that Renekton, they picked the Renekton here to split push against their opponents. And then you go for the Braum. Getting Elise to set the Renekton hit is okay, but I think it's kind of like all-in on that. If they go for the Gragas over there, it makes the rest of the team composition a lot more tanky, gives them a lot more resilience to buy time for the Renekton to split push. And your opponents go for Galio in this case, which is you go for 2 tanks against Renekton, you will be able to stop him from split pushing, but that's allocating a lot of resources to one side of the map, and you don't necessarily can kill him if he goes for the split push build or ranking build. So over here, go Elise, you're saying that I'm all in on Elise Renekton. You make that happen, it does well. You don't make that happen, you kind of don't really have the best composition for the mid game. If they went for like Gragas first pick over here, Maokai first pick over here, but they banned the Maokai themselves. They went for like a tank jungler. I think Rek'Sai for themselves would actually have been decent as well. They just get another tank that can peel for the Caitlyn, can peel for the Corki, which is they're going to be playing to Xayah, they're going to be playing together. Then you have the same idea as the previous game. Let your opponents have the split push pressure against your opponents. In fact, it's even better this game because you have the split push pressure against your opponents with the Renekton, and then you have this setup that your opponents will have a lot of difficulty engaging into. Why do we usually see Elise Renekton on blue side instead of like a Gragas, Braum kind of setup on blue side with Renekton? Is because what happens here is that your opponents actually counter pick. Like they go Rek'Sai and Gnar or something, and they have the drill to make sure that the Gnar wins out against the Renekton, or cover for the Renekton accordingly. And then the bot lane just plays to absorb pressure. in that scenario. But I don't think Revive plays a lot of those kind of champions. In fact, I don't even think that that's a very good solution to Renekton Elise. I think best solution to Renekton Elise, you just go pop Shen and then you play the pawns on the map. Then you exchange. Huh. Wait, I remember there's a reason why. There's a reason why. It's not coming to me at the moment. It's not coming to me at the moment. But in general, if you last pick, like, you want to ban Renekton over here. If your opponent has Elise, you just kind of want to ban Renekton over here. Then if they go Elise Renekton really early, then you can like just draft to anticipate that and deal with the team from over there. Like to give Elise and then Renekton this lane a draft, I think it puts you in a very uncomfortable scenario. Oh, I think you can go Rek'Sai Jax. You can go Rek'Sai Jax, but I don't think Revive plays Jax. So that's the problem over here. So it's something that they know about their team comp. But even if you did play Jax, what they do is they ban out Jax, maybe Camille, and they go for these things. Like the tank jungle bans doesn't really matter at this point of time. Rek'Sai, these champions, kind of the same thing. In fact, if they go for Sejuani instead of Rek'Sai, I think it's even better for NyZ. Because it just puts RSG in a very uncomfortable situation where they just get pushed in everywhere. And then you have a tank jungler that can't really do anything until she's level 6. And it's a very torturous early game for RSG. So they give the Rek'Sai in this case. It's like, would I given Sejuani instead? Open Sejuani. Like Sejuani gets destroyed by Renekton as well on the top lane. To build the Rune King Renekton especially. Okay, let's look into the game itself. So this game, I'm gonna be talking a lot about Renekton. From what I recall about the game, I should be talking a lot about Renekton. And the early game, I think, NYZ's bot lane, they didn't know that I think since last split, they've just been always playing win bot lane in game, and then they super aggressive in the bot lane. So this game, when you play Kid and Braum, what you want to do is just keep the wave 50-50 and have defensive wards on your side of the map. Whenever Rek'Sai comes down. Okay, then this is I remember they dropped the first 3 minutes because they just took so long on this leash. Like their Elise Super Leash drill is just not there. This is something that you can just go and cast this in practice. And I actually get angry when I see these kind of things in competitive players or things that you can just drill is like dead. You can look at it, you drill it, and then it happens, and you don't do the homework, and you put on these kind of very sloppy performances. It's not even like you need to do a very complicated thing. You don't even need to practice to do these kind of things. So open up a game, go into the game, and it's 3 people doing jungle camps. And going top, practicing this drill. So this is the response from Resurgence. Using the Rek'Sai to hit top, and then blowing the flash early, and then he does the crowd. So this is actually the correct drill. Like you see Elise on the other side, and this is what people use to do Elise in general with Rek'Sai. Because Rek'Sai has a clear speed to do this. If you do like with Sejuani, Gragas, or something else, the clear speed is a lot slower, and you won't actually be able to blow this additional flash from Rex. And then now because Resurgence they do this, so it reduces all the potency from Elise to make the kill happen on the top side of the map. And okay, first mistake from you know. Don't do the Gromp. Don't do the Gromp. You're level 3, that's all you need to kill the Jarvan. Just walk up to the top side of the map, go in there, cocoon him, hit the W, then E4 W, get the cocoon down, you blow the flash. Force him to walk on the turret, and then you disturb the Rek'Sai. Force the Rek'Sai to go top lane instead of letting the Rek'Sai go bot lane. Force him to square off with you. Spend time helping the Jarvan reset the wave, and while he helps the Jarvan reset the wave, you go back bottom. Now flashes down, you go back bottom, you do Gromp, you do Wolves, you go top again. Or you can just do Gromp and then go top again. Then kill him, because he's got no flash now. Then he has to blow the TP. So I mean they got this first kill even without blowing his flash in the first place. So this could have just come a lot earlier. So one summoner spell down. TP is going to be used to top lane. I actually think at this point in time you just go for the repeat gang. Like you have to drill this. You have to drill the Elise Renekton very very well. Like how to reset the aggro and do all those kind of things so that when they TP down, you can kill them on the spot. You can kill them on the spot the moment they TP down. You see them TPing, you stand on the tower and say, okay, you want to TP down? I'm gonna kill you on the spot. So this is them just not having this drilled down. And same thing bottom lane. I mean, this is kind of this game in a nutshell. Like they go for the Elise Renekton, they don't know how to execute the Elise Renekton, and the bot lane doesn't know how to compensate for the fact that they are playing Elise Renekton and you're not supposed to spend this entire game on the top side of the map. And then Rek'Sai stuff dumps on the bot lane, the Elise can't do anything on the top side of the map. And what's supposed to be an advantage for NYZ, like, just ends up very disastrous for them. Like, I don't think there's really much more to say. You go for the Elise Renekton set piece, you fail to execute, and then your bot lane doesn't know how to compensate for the fact that your jungler is spending all this time top lane. Like, same thing. You do Wolves, you do Gromp. Hit the top side of the map, don't care that he has a ping ward. Go down there, kill the ping ward, and in his face, just walk up to the Jarvan and say, what are you going to do about this? They can just do Wolves and just go top. I mean, you see Elise players, right? When they play Elise Renekton, their CS numbers are super low. They're super, super low. Partially it's because they found the top side of the map that has got less CS in general as compared to the other side of the map where they have like Krugs and Raptors. But Elise always just got very low CS because what they do is like they go top, they won't even clear the full Krugs. So they just kill the big one and kill the small medium one so that the camp disappears. And they go top again, kill the opponent top laner. That's how they win in general with these. But then Yuno's like trying to do this counter jungling, killing the small raptors, finding the Rek'Sai. You'd just be going top. Rek'Sai should bottom, just walk to top and kill the Jarvan. Skip forward, skip forward. Yeah, bot lane's Danzo. Okay, I mean, I remember the only thing that I wanted to talk about this game is like the Renekton grouping. Like go play the Renekton, just supposed to split push out away. Just don't group, never group with the team. Like they didn't give him like the ramp up to have him really snowball all over the Jarvan. And then the ball makes these mistakes. This entire game boils down to the fact that they don't know how to execute these Renekton. Okay, I'm kind of done with this game. Small mistakes, stuff like that, micro mistakes. Not too much to talk about it. Same thing. You're playing Elise Renekton, this vision, put it on top side of the map. Support 80, put the red ward here, put the red ward here. On the blast cone behind the red buff. And then in this case, when the opponents enter the jungle, you can see the opponents coming and then you can respond to them. Then Elise just wants to spend all the time on the top side of the map protecting his jungle. Okay, that's all.